Chapter 29. The Sealed Veil. Asker, the hidden peaks of Altoria. The sanctuary of Altoria floated partially within the ancient mountain itself. A breathtaking fusion of elven mastery and living crystal, towering white spires intertwined with groves of luminous trees, whose leaves shimmered like captured starlight. Perpetual mist swirled around the structures, glowing faintly with protective runes that pulsed in slow, rhythmic harmony with the mountain's deep heartbeat. High elf sentinels in moonsilver armor stood vigilant along the crystalline ramparts, their longbows half-drawn and arrows nocked with star-forged tips. Their eyes, ancient, piercing, and filled with centuries of caution, tracked the approaching Silver Guard with open suspicion. Kale landed first on the wide, polished terrace, his boots scraping against the glowing crystal. Illyria remained unconscious in his arms, her body alarmingly light, as if her essence were already slipping away. Her once vibrant golden hair hung limp and dull, and the warm radiance that defined her had faded to almost nothing, leaving only a fragile spark. The black veins on Kel's own arms and neck were now starkly visible to all, pulsing slowly like living shadows beneath his scorched armor. Seraphiel and the remaining Silver Guard touched down behind him, their wings heavy with exhaustion. Several angels winced as they folded them, feathers drifting down like blackened snow. An ancient high elf stepped forward from the line of sentinels. His long silver hair, braided with living leaves that rustled softly as if whispering secrets. Lord Illendor, High Archon of Altoria, carried an aura of profound age and authority. His eyes widened in awe and alarm as he recognized the figure Kale carried. By the eternal grove and the first song of creation, Illendor breathed, his melodic voice carrying through the mist. The Mother Goddess herself lies bleeding on our threshold. This is no simple wound, this is a tear in the fabric of the world. Kale's voice emerged raw and pleading, stripped of any princely formality. She needs sanctuary, Archon. The Red Wizards of Dismava bound her with a vile blood ritual in the Reborn Valley. It's still tearing at her from within, like thorns of shadow. If we cannot sever its hold soon, she will fade from Asker entirely. Illendor hesitated, his sharp gaze drifting to the black veins, crawling visibly across Kale's neck and jaw. The leaves in his braids curled inward uneasily. The Prince of Light brings both salvation and shadow to our gates, he said carefully, weighing every word. We have heard the stories carried on the whirlwind. Half the continent already whispers that the son of Azoth walks the edge of corruption. Tell me plainly, Prince, does that darkness travel with you this night, threatening our groves? Seraphiel stepped forward protectively, his hand resting on the hilt of his sword, wings flaring. You will not turn us away, Archon. Not while the Queen of Creation bleeds for this world. We have fought and bled this night while your sanctuary remained untouched. Deny her now, and you deny the very light that sustains all of Asker. Illendor raised a slender, rune-etched hand. The great crystal gates hummed open with a sound like wind chimes in a sacred breeze. We will not refuse the Mother in her hour of deepest need. But know this, our sanctuary is a place of balance, not endless war. If the darkness inside the Prince grows beyond our ability to contain, we will not hesitate to protect our own. The groves remember every broken oath, and their judgment is swift. They were led through winding passages of living crystal into a circular healing chamber carved from a single, massive geode. Soft blue and silver light bathed the room, alive with drifting motes of stardust that danced like fireflies. The air carried the sweet scent of night-blooming flowers and fresh rain on ancient stone. Kale gently laid Illyria upon a bed of living moss and luminous starflowers. The flowers immediately brightened at her touch, leaning toward her as if in recognition and sorrow. 3 high elf priestesses in flowing robes, woven from moonlight, moved with graceful urgency. They wove intricate patterns of ancient nature. Magic vines of glowing ivy rose to cradle her body. Silver runes hovered and pulsed, pressing against the dark ritual's grip. The bleeding from her wounds slowed to a faint trickle. Yet, the invisible thorns refused to release her completely. Kale knelt beside his mother, clutching her cool hand tightly. The black veins on his arms pulsed stronger in her presence, feeding on his rising guilt and fear. "I'm sorry," he whispered, voice thick with emotion. "I should have protected you better. I should have seen the trap. I should have been stronger." Illyria's eyes fluttered open for a fragile moment. Her voice was barely a breath, weak yet laced with a mother's enduring love and wisdom. "Kale, my bright one."
"Your father."
"He will come for me, raging like a storm he cannot control. Do not let him drag you into his war. Choose your own path, my son. Even if it leads through shadow, let it be your light that guides you." Her fingers tightened weakly around his for a heartbeat, then went slack as her eyes closed once more. One of the priestesses placed a gentle hand on Kale's shoulder. "The mother fights bravely, Prince, but the ritual is deep. We will need time. And perhaps more than our magic alone." Elion the Grand Hall. Azoth stood like a statue of cold fury before the largest scrying mirror. In all of Elion, the surface rippled with live images of Kale, kneeling beside Illyria in the elven sanctuary. The black veins on his son, unmistakable. "She refuses to return even while dying," Azoth said bitterly, the words echoing like cracking stone through the vast hall. "And my own son shields her defiance. He would watch her bleed out among elves and mortals rather than bring her home where she belongs. I can protect her." Lyral stood a safe distance away, her silver robes trembling. "My lord, perhaps if you went to her yourself, showed her the depth of your pain and love." "No," Azoth's voice cracked like breaking ice across a frozen sea. "She made her choice the moment she descended to play savior. Now I will make mine." He turned sharply from the mirror, his massive frame casting violent shadows. "Seal the veil between Elion and Asker," he commanded, divine power crackling around him like lightning. "No portals. No messages, no threads of light or prayer. No one leaves, not even the queen, when they finally drag her back." Through the mirror, Serafield's distant voice carried faintly. "Filled with desperation, my lord. The queen still lives. We are stabilizing her in the elven sanctuary. Please, we need your guidance, your strength." Azoth stared at the image of his wounded wife for a long, agonizing moment. His fists clenched until the marble floor beneath him fractured. Then he spoke the words that would shake the heavens. "Let her feel what it means to be truly alone." He slammed his hand down. A cataclysmic boom like thunder across all creation reverberated. The veil between worlds slammed shut with brutal finality, severing every golden connection between Elion and Asker. "Alturia Sanctuary?" Kale suddenly gasped and clutched his chest, staggering as if an invisible blade had pierced his heart. The constant warm light of his father, the eternal, tethered to Elion that had sustained him since. His first breath vanished completely, leaving a cold, hollow void. Serafield staggered beside him, gripping a crystal pillar for support, his face pale. "The veil, it's been sealed," the commander whispered in horror. "We are cut off entirely. No reinforcements, no divine light. The heavens have abandoned us." Kale looked down at his mother's pale, unconscious face, then at the black veins now, spreading visibly across his own chest like cracks racing through marble. For the first time, real, unfiltered fear entered his glowing eyes. "We're on our own now," he said quietly, the words heavy with dread. "No father, no Elion, just us, and whatever darkness is coming for us." Outside the crystal chamber, the night sky of Asker seemed suddenly darker than it had ever been. The stars dimmed as if in mourning, the mist around Alturia thickened into an oppressive shroud, and in the far distance, the low rumble of war drums echoed from the northern shadows.